We're set for our first quarterfinal matchup. American Flag Football League here on NFL Network. The Dallas Ducks squaring off against Primetime from Highmark Stadium. Let's take a look at the rules. It's 7-on-7 football with 12-player rosters, 2 30-minute halves, running clock until the final 2 minutes of the game. Now, the field is divided into 25-yard boxes. First downs are awarded each time the offense reaches the next box. There's no blocking, there's no kicking, and there are no fumbles. So there's no coin toss either. So how do they determine who gets the ball first? They have what's called a long toss. Ricky Dobbs of the Primetime threw first. Jarrell Norton, the wide receiver for the Dallas Ducks, threw second. He threw it the furthest. So they win the coin toss and they have deferred. Let's send it down to the field in Kay Adams.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Lieutenant Ricky Dobbs, quarterback of Primetime, which sort of makes sense because you're used to this. You're used to the bright lights being the starter at Navy. What was your message to your team on the field and in the locker room?
We got to stay focused, play fast, and have fun.
Now, I think chemistry is a big advantage for a lot of these teams in this tournament, but you have played with them for 3 games, barely 7 weeks. How did you get them to trust you, and how did you trust them?
You know, chemistry is something that comes with multiple repetitions and stuff like that, but when you've been doing this game for so long, you can come out with a group of guys who you never met before and just go out and have fun. Everybody likes to compete, and once I got with them, they have the same kind of mentality that I do, never die, and we work hard and make plays. So
now, the final is on July 14th. July 19th means something to you, though.
You said, does it mean something to me? Yeah, that's something big. July 19th is actually the day that I'm scheduled to arrive in Manama, Bahrain, overseas. You know, God willing, if we make it to the championship, I'm gonna move those plans and defer my leave out for about 7 more days so I can make it.
I know that you're part of the $1 million going towards the Ricky Dobbs Foundation. Good luck out there. Let's get this thing going. Dan, Bob, back to you.
All right, Kay, and we wish Ricky Dobbs the best. And the Primetime squad, which is from the Mid-Atlantic region, Richmond area, they're in blue. Back deep, C.J. Tarver, one of the return men, along with Joseph Simba Sanders.
B, let's go.
And Jarrell Norton, who won the long toss, will handle the throw off. Rather than a kick, it's a throw.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Back left corner, back left corner.
So, you know where it's going to go?
Let's go!
Norton's got the gun. Simba on the return. Joseph Sanders. And the flag comes out at around the 20-yard line. So here comes Ricky Dobbs. Only 3 games, Dan, with this team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, this is a guy that is very talented, and they stressed how much they believe in him. But he's going to do a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have a full playbook to work with because of the time frame. But they do say this: he can flat out throw the football.
Look what you got, one here.
Now the quarterback is considered the player that takes the direct snap from the center.
Here we go.
You can move a running back into that spot, and then he becomes the quarterback. And there's a go clock. You have 4 seconds. Dobbs is going to go up top, and pass intended for Kashif Charity, but good coverage that time by Michael B.
I love the fact that they took a shot early on. This game, since you have to get 25 yards, a lot of times it's dink and dunk and let guys play in space and drags and shallow crosses. Well, Primetime comes out and takes a shot downfield. That's going to loosen that DB up a little bit on the left side, so I appreciate the fact that they took that shot early on.
So in order to get a first down for Dobbs and Primetime, they have to get the ball to midfield. Going to take the little check down, and the pass completed to Jaquan Winston. And I'll tell you what, it's our man Steve Miller. He's got the wig working.
Yeah, I mean, one of the benefits, advantages that Dobbs has, you can see it, he went through progressions there. That's something he's done. He is a natural quarterback, obviously having such a successful career at Navy.
Give you a little more on Steve Winston as the game rolls on. Dobbs gets the flag taken out. And that's one of the things that they really like about their team, the Dallas Ducks, is Jackson Domcourt working that pass rush.
Yeah, the Twins, their pass rush, they talked about how important it is for them utilizing a blitz right there. And the Domcourt brothers stressed they're not just going to recklessly blitz. They're going to have a strategy of how they want to send Dobbs a certain location. Obviously a huge play right there.
You're allowed 5 blitzes per half, and you've got to really figure out the right time to use them.
Yeah, I like the fact that they used it early on, because now you've basically flipped the script. You're going to take the opening kickoff in the second half, and you just 3 and out at prime time, which is huge because you don't get a ton of possessions in this game.
Steve Miller, the man with the wig on, and there's a big story behind that. He's got about 16 different wigs. Played his high school ball at Helix Charter High School in San Diego. Was teammates of Alex Smith and Reggie Bush. So a version of a punt. It's a throw off. There's no kicking at all in this game. And the return by Justin Doncourt, and he takes it out near the 41-yard line after a 49-yard throw. So we'll get our first look at the Dallas Ducks on offense. And their quarterback, J.C. Villarreal, is 5'9", 175 pounds. He said the thing that he loved about flag football, he loved the game of football, but he said, look at my body. He goes, I was never going to be any good at tackle football, but flag has given me the opportunity to compete.
Yeah, and that's a thing we hear for a lot of guys in this league. No, the place for them is not the NFL, but in this league they have a spot where they can go.
The center is not eligible to go out for a pass, and he's got a man and he overthrows him. He had Corey Broadnax wide open down the left side.
Quarterback. What? Hey, you know they're going to take a shot. Get back.
Damn, that was it.
And Bob, you heard in our player mic right there that Corey talking to JC going, that was it. They double moved right there, took their shot, just like Primetime did the first play. They know there's a missed opportunity right there. I'm sure they're going to come back and tack that cornerback Stevie Miller with it again.
We've got an opportunity to take you on the field. A lot of the players on each side are mic'd up. Really get a sense. Good coverage, and that ball is intercepted by Mike Silent Assassin Lee. Villarreal just tossed it up there, Dan, and great break on the ball by Lee, who's a professional firefighter.
Bob, we talked at Primetime yesterday, and they said they were going to attack and blitz Villarreal early on because they thought he would get reckless with the football, that gunslinger mode, and they would have an opportunity to get picks. They called it, they blitz him, and it results in that huge turnover for Primetime.
You know, and the coverage was really good, too, because Villarreal had nobody to throw to, and now Dallas Ducks are going to utilize a timeout here.
Well, what you're seeing is, and we talked about it, they've got a strategy. This Primetime team isn't going in here freestyle. There's a strategy. They blitzed Villarreal off his right side, made him move left, a not favorable situation for right-handed quarterback, throw back across the field, big-time pick.
Balance out, defense, we need one.
Dobbs says he'd like to be president in 2040. He's got a foundation, was one of the great quarterbacks at Navy.
Go. Get that, get money, get money, get money.
Takes that early completion out to the 49-yard line. Steve Miller with the catch. Played 2 years at Virginia Union, 4 years in arena football, and quite the character when speaking to him.
Yeah, we had some time to spend with him yesterday. He actually said that Reggie Bush and Alex Smith, his high school teammates, are still inspirations to him. He said he still follows their career, and he still uses those guys to motivate him.
Go.
2nd and 1, tough throw right there, and the pass incomplete. So you see Steve Miller in these various wigs. He explained what the inspiration was.
Right after Halloween, I had a long night. I was late for my playoff game, probably like 30 minutes late. Still had my costume on, didn't have time to change, so I just ran out with my gear and put cleats on. We won the tournament, and I've been playing with it ever since. So tournaments, playoff games, I always have some type of wig on, and I probably have about 15 as of right now. I'm gonna add a couple more to the collection, so be on the lookout come Pittsburgh. And have some fresh do.
What's the call?
Well, he said that only once has it cost him a touchdown where part of the wig went in front of his eye and he dropped what should have been an easy touchdown.
Yeah, and he's so committed to the superstition of it in a sense that he's wearing it no matter what. It works for him. They're here for a reason.
Defense. They gained a first down on the play. They will have a free down.
So most penalties result in a free play or a loss of down. And Frank Rogers is our referee. They completed the pass for the first down.
And so now that, Bob, they've got a free play, or an extra play. It's not a free play because the result still matters, but this is an extra play. It's not one of their 4 downs that they have to use in this series right now.
Here we go. Say, go.
Right now, go, Darrell, go now.
Dobbs has got a man on the deep post and he can't hook up with Charity.
Beautiful read by Dobbs. He sees that Charity breaks to the post, and the corner, Michael B, tries to undercut it. Kashif taking the post. Dobbs puts a beautiful amount of air on the ball and just in through his hands essentially. That's going to be something that Primetime wants back, but it was an extra play, so they just have first down right now. I like them taking that shot.
Go.
Karief Charity, a native of Philadelphia, they fake the little run and they get it back to Charity, who makes the catch at the 31-yard line. Pickup of 8. Karief Charity mostly played basketball as a kid. His son Isaiah, he told us his son Isaiah yesterday wanted to come, and he said to his son Isaiah, watch Daddy on TV, you'll see more. Well, Daddy almost had the deep post and just got a nice catch right there.
Good moment for his son Isaiah to get him, see him a catch. He told us yesterday, they get down in the red zone. He's got a route that he loves to run, so that'll be something as this drive continues to go for us to pay attention to for Kashif.
They've got to get the ball to the 25 for a first down.
Bring it, bring it. There you go, there you go. There we go. There we go.
So they grab the first down, and then the flag pulled out pretty quickly by Chad Pendarvis.
Yeah, and you can see Joseph Sanders kind of at the same depth as Dobbs right there, almost calling the play out to Dobbs and telling him what to do. He's an outlet if he wants to kick it back to him. He sprints out, and it's a little flat route. So Sanders, in a way, coaching Dobbs through the play as it's actually happening.
They fake the handoff to Sanders, a little misdirection. And the pass complete to Brian Flaherty, who played small forward at Shenandoah University, basketball player. But there's Joseph Sanders, known as Simba, and he's a veteran of flag football. I just wonder how the dynamic's going to work late in the game when he's almost coaching over the shoulder of Dobbs.
Yeah, if things get a little dicier, it's at one of those clutch moments. How's that going to work? Does he truly trust Dobbs to not only make the call, but also execute it at the line of scrimmage?
Go.
Second and goal from the 13. Throws it back to Simba. That's a lateral, and good defense there to get the flag out at about the 10-yard line. And that's an art that we should talk about, Dan, in flag football. Getting the flag out is not as easy as you think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked to these teams yesterday, and they talked about competing against the pros, and they said the big difference is the flag pull, and they used the term, if you can't pull flags, you can't tackle. It's not the same, and it's a very unique skill that these players know how to use.
Third and goal from the 10. Dobbs thought about running, and the flag comes out. They got him. And that's Justin Doncourt. So the twins, Jackson and Justin, both have sacks.
And again, here it is. They called it out, saying how impactful these guys were going to be. You see the pressure off of Dobbs, off his hip. He panics. The Doncourt brothers told us that they were going to act this football game and they impact this football game, and that's exactly what's happening.
So with no field goals,
Hey, look what we got, Storm.
you go for it on 4th down here with the ball at the 11-yard line.
The big thing, Bob, here is Dobbs has got to make sure he gives somebody a chance in the end zone.
Watch the post. Go. Back it around.
Oh, and the flag comes out before the throw, and Donker again with the stop.
Yeah, again, they're utilizing their blitzes at specific moments. Donker right now completely controlling this game with his blitzes and impacting Primetime's plan and execution of their offense.
So when you take a look at American flag football, everybody thinks wide open, a lot of scoring, but defense is so important. And the Donker brothers, the twins, are getting it done. Harassing Ricky Dobbs, using the blitz, pulling the flag, getting the stop on 4th and goal.
Red ball.
They are off to a blazing start
To the
for the
25-yard
Dallas
line
Ducks.
for a first down.
Last season, the average time to throw from snap to release was only 2.7 seconds. Now in the US Open, laterals, handoffs, and blitzes all stop the go clock. Setting aside those scenarios, US Open QBs get off a pass in almost exactly the same amount of time as the pros, on average in only 2.8 seconds.
And that go clock is right on the yard markers, so the players know exactly when it's going to go. Dan, would you like having that little beep?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly takes away that internal clock that I know as quarterbacks sometimes you get happy feet. Now as a quarterback, when you hear that beep, it's just, okay, I've got to get that ball out. I don't have a 300-pounder coming at me.
Ball up. Myself.
Villarreal with his first completion to Emmett Kelly. Played high school football in Texas, so you get one under your belt there, right?
Yeah, one of the things that you see from both teams, and I like that Villarreal did it, is they moved their quarterback, get him an easy completion. They told us yesterday this will be the biggest pressure they've ever experienced. They travel and play a bunch of games, but never on this stage and never for this compensation, this reward.
4-on-4 leagues around the country, 7-on-7, 9-on-9. This is a 7-on-7 tournament with a chance to play against the pros. Villarreal to the sideline and hooks up with Chad Pendarvis, who's an interesting story. This is a guy, Pendarvis, who broke his neck 3 years ago playing flag football.
Villarreal does a nice job. They're changing movement, getting that completion, like you said, to Pendarvis, who's coming back from that neck injury.
Pendarvis, master's degree from SMU in dispute resolutions. His passion is politics. He gave a unique analogy about when one of these amateur teams gets a chance to play against the pros. Villarreal takes the sack as Tavion, body by Tay Baker, gets him.
Huge sack right there. You know, the defensive Primetime is doing a nice job. They're waiting for that ball to get snapped, and then they're spinning some coverage. It looks like to be confusing Villarreal. And body by Tay right there with it. We talked about it, how important that flag pull is. Villarreal almost is able to get skinny and escape there, forcing this 2nd and long now for the Dallas Ducks offense, who calls themselves the greatest show on turf.
Here comes the blitz. You get 5 per half. And that was a nice job by Jarrell Norton of getting skinny and making the first flag pull miss.
Yeah, that's one of the moves that is important in flag football, is this get skinny. Watch how he's able to shift his hips, kind of get a little vertical, get skinny, move out of the way. And you can see the defender for Primetime right there, disappointed that he's not able to get that flag pull. Villarreal doing a very nice job of having a plan for when that Primetime blitz comes, getting it out of his hand to his playmaker, Jarrell Norton.
Villarreal gets the completion and gets the first down. Corey Broadnax, who played at Southern Oklahoma State, 26 years of age, with the catch.
Good for a Dallas first down.
Good. Good. Curl.
Down 25, gentlemen.
Curl.
First and 6 to the 25-yard line for Dallas.
So they need 16 yards to pick up another first down. 25-yard line is the next marker to gain. Did Villarreal get it off? Or did he lose the flag? Again, Body by Tay, who's a personal trainer, gets another sack.
Yeah, this defense for Primetime doing a nice job. They're spinning some coverages, confusing Villarreal. They, like we said, very much so having a plan of how they wanted to go attack. They talked about Primetime has a little bit of a hybrid defense, and I think that's confusing the offense right now, and that's not a blitz, it's just a rush since it came after that 2-second on that go clock beep.
Tavion Baker, personal trainer by trade, said played a lot of flag football, but his passion now is helping people mentally and physically as a trainer. That time Villarreal did a nice job of avoiding the pressure, but the flag, I think, was grabbed by Baker.
We see one of the unique things of flag football there is the opportunity to throw a
That is
lateral.
their second. They have 3 remaining.
Villarreal doing a good job getting the ball in his hands. Looks like Stevie Miller gets the flag early on, but that lateral, you get one of those a play. The good teams in this league, the good teams in this tournament are very much so going to use that lateral as part of their offense.
Curl rail. Curl rail.
Villarreal gets it off, but Pendarvis immediately stopped by Brian B. Flaherty, who's right there for the flagpole.
The defense splits down the play. That is their third of the half. They'll have 2 remaining. That'll bring up 4th down. By rule, the offense must go for it. 25-yard line for a new set of downs.
First down, we got to get it coming. You go across too.
Again, the field is broken up in 25-yard increments, 4 25-yard segments.
And I asked Villarreal yesterday, you know, in crucial moments, 4th and shorts or down in the red zone, who's his 2 favorite guys to go to? He said Pendarvis and Jarrell Norton. So I think we've got to pay attention to those guys to see if he looks at them.
Villarreal has hit his last 5 passes. They bring the blitz again. And again, Tavion Baker creates the pressure.
The quarterback released the ball prior to the flag being pulled. The blue team did blitz on the play. That was their 4th. They'll have 1 remaining.
Well, whether they got the sack or not, they forced the incompletion on 4th down, so Primetime will take over in a scoreless first half. Tavion Baker, he's kind of like the guy that does all the dirty work. He's applying a lot of pressure on JC Villarreal, disrupting things that Dallas Ducks want to do on offense, making his presence felt here in a scoreless first half as we send it down to Kay.
Yeah, Tavion Baker, personal trainer by day, quarterback nightmare on the field. I know your nickname is Body by Tay. Can we change it to Sacks by Tay?
We can change it to Sack Champion, 'cause that's what I am.
You have 2 so far. How are you disrupting this offense?
I'm looking the quarterback in his eyes, and I see fear. So when I see it, I smell it, and then I go get it.
Ooh, I don't know how the crowd feels about that. You started a chant, though, when you started those sacks. What was it?
Duck, duck, goose. It's a child's game.
Crowd is responding now. Villarreal did tell me that when he scores a touchdown, he will be salsa-ing a la Victor Cruz. And do you think it's going to happen today?
Yeah, it's going to be some salsa, but it's going to be in blue.
All right, the confidence all over the field, all over the entire stadium. Steel City is having an exciting night, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, it's interesting, Kay, and there's J.C. Villarreal, the quarterback of the Dallas Ducks, with a little smile. Both of these teams, in fact, all 4 teams we'll see tonight, loaded with content. They're going to beat everybody by 100 points. But they're finding out as you move up, it gets tougher.
Yeah, every team made sure to tell us they had the best quarterback and receivers and running backs and defensive backs in the whole league.
Dobbs takes the check down, and a nice move made there by Joseph Sanders.
Ricky Dobbs pass complete to Joe Sanders.
Well, you know, social media, a big part of this. And how about Navy Athletics? Tweeting about Ricky Dobbs, American Flag Football League, live right now on NFL Network.
Listen, Ricky Dobbs, you know you've made it when you're getting tweeted about. Just be ready for it. Be ready for it to come. A really cool moment for Ricky Dobbs. Hopefully he's got a bunch more coming over the next couple weeks for him.
Here we go.
One coming.
Set, go.
Sanders for Dobbs. There's the lateral to Kai Charity. All right, let's talk about the unique rules that exist, Dan, and that was right on the edge.
And here's some of the uniqueness. Okay, so Dobbs gets the snap. He can throw the ball wherever he wants. Once the ball leaves his hand, the only chance that he has to catch the ball is if it's past the line of scrimmage. Sanders finds him, and then one lateral. You get one lateral play. Those are unique things of this American Flag Football League that make it truly exciting, make it unique, and have these skills be at their strength for all these players.
We have an illegal lateral on the play. The ball spotted at the second lateral. First down to the 25.
Right, because the first throw by Dobbs to Sanders was a lateral. You're only allowed one lateral. So when Dobbs then lateraled it to Charity, that would be the second lateral on the play. In AFFL rules, you're only allowed one lateral per play. Dobbs missed an open receiver that time, and he knows it.
This is something that I want to pay attention to really at the end of this first half and going into the second half. Both quarterbacks, Dobbs and Villarreal, have shown they cannot run away from the rush guy. They've got no chance to outrun him. And there's not a plan right now for that pressure, whether it's a blitz or that post 2-second go clock beat. I want to see if either of them have the ability to adjust.
In our second game tonight, the Fighting Cancer team, their quarterback, Darrell Hoosh-Doucette, that's what he specializes in, getting away from defenders. Dobbs got a guy deep, and the first touchdown is scored.
Touchdown, Primetime.
C.J. Tarver, who was just signed off the Albany team, who hadn't played, comes in and provides the spark.
And this is a guy who might be one of the best players in this league, especially athletically. Dobbs, again, the ability to go through some progressions. He sees the crossing post, enough air that allows Tarver to make an adjustment just enough over the top, and it gets Primetime on the board. Tarver is a secret weapon for this offense.
C.J. Tarver on the touchdown pass, 31 yards from Ricky Dobbs. Okay, so on the conversion from 5 yards out, it's worth 1 point. From 10-2, from 20, it's worth 3. They're going to go for just the 1. That's considered a lateral, and they throw it into the back of the end zone for the 1-point conversion. Kashif Charity with the conversion, and Ricky Dobbs stakes Primetime to a 7-0 lead with 7:40 to go.
Yeah, one of the unique things about this Primetime team, Bob, is they think everybody on their team can throw. We'll see the lateral here to Chris Chandler and his ability to find Kashif Moore in the back of the end zone. The unique thing about American Flag Football League, the defenses have to cover behind the line of scrimmage.
So Ricky Dobbs with the touchdown pass. 31-yarders to C.J. Tarver, and Ricky got a special send-off by his Navy teammates.
What's up, NFL Network? This is Lieutenant Tyree Barnes, weapons officer on board the best ship in the Navy, CG-56, USS San Jacinto, home ported in Norfolk, Virginia. Me and my crew just want to wish my former teammate, fellow naval officer, and pretty much a good friend of mine, Ricky Dobbs, and his Primetime team the best of luck tonight, when they go out there and take on the world. Primetime's going to give it to him, and Ricky will make sure it gets done. Victory is certain.
So a great shout out there, and Ricky's scheduled to report in Bahrain in July, but he says he's going to move that off. Star quarterback at Navy, 69 touchdowns, the second most in school history, 2,700 yards passing, and 2,665 yards rushing.
Yeah, very accomplished college career. And the funny thing is, if Ricky Dobbs is playing college football right now, he might be an NFL draft pick of how the game has changed. His teammates certainly believe he belongs in the NFL.
Let's see if JC Villarreal can figure out this primetime defense. Primetime defense has one blitz remaining. Villarreal going deep, and he gets his first big completion. Emmett Kelly for 43 yards.
And a perfect example there of Villarreal having the ability to move, have his body in funny body positions or off platforms and still be accurate. You're going to see it on our replay here, Bob. He's on the move. Beautiful touch on the ball, giving Emmett Kelly a nice high ball to go up and make the play. Kelly said he loves to go deep because he believes that opportunity balls will always be his.
Yeah, he's 6'2" is Emmett Kelly, and his hobby is taxidermy. He said, hey, I'm from the country in Texas. Again, the pressure and another sack. Tavion Baker. And, you know, you got to give credit to the coverage right now down the field. For primetime, that's the key to some of these sacks.
Yeah, what people are seeing, what we're seeing is this is not recess. There is a structure to both what teams want to do offensively and defensively. The coverage doing a very good job. Now, they've got 7 defenders, just like how it is in, say, the NFL, and the offense only has 5 guys to go out, so they are at a numbers advantage, and they're doing a good job of using that to blanket all of the football field right now for the primetime defense.
So on second down, the Ducks need to get to the 25 to get a new set of downs. Villarreal. And nice work that time by Emmett Kelly again. Okay, you've got a little bit more on the sack master, Tay Baker.
I do. The sack master wants a 6-pack. He wants 6 of them. He is halfway there officially. No salsaing, but I asked him before the game. He was wearing a mask, a scary gold skeleton mask, and they said they wouldn't let him play with it on the field, but he usually does, and it's to intimidate the opposing quarterback, which he doesn't really need help with, does he, guys?
No, certainly not. And Dan, the passion that these guys have for playing ball, they barnstorm every weekend, money out of their own pocket to play and compete in tournaments all around the country.
Yeah, these guys truly love the game. They love each other. They love playing with each other. And that's a big reason why they're here, is that ability to play for something more than just money. They play for the love of the game.
Now, did Broadnax make the catch and have the ball punched out? And I think the officials are going to spot it as a catch at the 5-yard line. Plays are reviewed by an official upstairs. Let's see. Catch. Tell you what, Quan Winston punched it out.
See, no matter what league you're watching, we've got catch issues. No matter what league. I'm going to say that he's got feet down and it's a catch.
Yeah, but did he have control? It didn't look like he had control.
Tie goes to the runner. I'm going to say that that's a catch.
And now it's going to be reviewed. And I'm not sure if that's a catch.
The current play is under review.
You know, when you take a look at it, right? He makes possession. The ball is moving. He's looking to tuck it away. The left foot's not down yet. And then Winston comes in and punches it out.
Yeah, nice job by Winston punching that ball out, knowing that there's no contact. So he's got to go after the ball. Very good job as a defensive back right there. I'm going to say that Broadnax's left heel gets down.
I'm going to say it's incomplete because I don't know if he ever demonstrated controlling the ball through the act of the catch. And it looks like it's going to be ruled incomplete as the Dallas Ducks are heading the wrong way.
I like how quick that replay was. Make a decision, move on, let's keep the game going. Fans love that. Well done.
Incomplete pass. Second down and goal.
So referee Frank Rogers gives us the call. Villarreal just hoists it with pressure. Did he get the pass off, or did Baker get another sack? And that should be the 5th and final blitz for Primetime. And it's an incomplete pass. And a timeout called.
On the previous play, the defense blitz. That was their 5th and final blitz. After the play, the defense is taking a timeout. That will be their first.
So coming up next, Fighting Cancer, which has lost one game in the last 5 years out of the Louisiana, Florida area, taking on the Strong Island Bulldogs, who are 9-on-9 champions. They're from Long Island, and both teams have some serious swagger.
Yeah, I mean, the Strong Island Bulldogs yesterday told me they expect a 30-point blowout to the team that has lost one game in 5 years. Both teams, like we've talked about, Bob, exceptionally confident.
Fighting Cancer team, 7-on-7 experts, but with some different rules. Excellent defense there as Primetime's Mike Lee, the silent assassin, closed in to knock it away from Emmett Kelly.
And I think that this is something for us to look at. We're going to see it in the sky cam here. It looks like Kelly, who's about to make this catch, wants to make a unique thing of, look at, he's going to make that lateral right away. He wants to catch and lateral, almost like a hook and ladder in essence, but it's going back inside. You can see him upset saying, oh, I got to make that catch first and then get the lateral. Bob, this is a huge down now, 4th down. Primetime has the opportunity not only to get the ball back after this, but they're going to receive the second half throw off.
Right, and because it's a running clock until the final 2 minutes of the game, they've started using their timeouts to conserve some time if they get the stop here on 4th.
Hey, you right? Corner's on. Back corner. You go corner to the front corner.
Go to the back. You got to push though.
You want it? Hey, come on, come on.
So let's see if Villarreal can make something happen on 4th down. And that pass is deflected and intercepted in the end zone. Jaquan Winston with the interception. And Jarrell Norton shaken up on the play.
We have an injury timeout.
Villarreal not able to convert on that 4th and goal. So getting the football off, you've got the go clock working, and you need to get this football off in quick order, just like in the NFL.
The high-octane play in the U.S. Open of football requires QBs to get rid of the ball in a hurry. So how does the quickness of their throwing motions stack up against their counterparts in the NFL? The best way to calculate release time is to start the clock when the QB takes his non-throwing hand off the ball. Defenders can use this cue to break on a receiver. Now in the NFL, the average release time is 0.4 of a second. Last season, the average time to throw from snap to release was only 2.7 seconds. Now in the US Open, laterals, handoffs, and blitzes all stop the go clock. Setting aside those scenarios, US Open QBs get off a pass in almost exactly the same amount of time as the pros, on average in only 2.8 seconds.
And the American Flag Football League has done a nice job massaging the rules a little bit to create that similarity in release time that you experienced as an NFL quarterback for 12 years.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Bob, I was very surprised how accurate it is, how similar it is. And That's something that the quarterbacks that are playing in this league, they talked about yesterday, and they take a lot of pride in it, saying, listen, we're doing a lot of the same things, at least timing-wise or structure-wise, that you guys did as quarterbacks in the NFL on Sundays.
To the 25-yard line for prime time.
Ricky Dobbs throwing a 31-yard touchdown pass on the last possession. Prime time in the blue with a 7-0 lead. Sanders with a little throwback and a little open space.
Hurry up, line up.
For C.J. Tarver, who has the touchdown catch, gain of 13.
Good play to start essentially what is a 2-minute drive for them. Make sure that you get a completion, get something moving forward. That's still important no matter what league you're playing in.
Any touchdown scored over 50 yards is worth 7 points. Miller didn't go out of bounds. Then he tried to lateral it, but the flag was pulled.
Now, if you're primetime, you're in a really good place because this ball is outside of the 50. You should take a shot here to try to get a 7-point touchdown with this clock running down.
And Dobbs is going to do just that, and he's got his man in for the touchdown. Is C.J. Tarver. Oh, excuse me, that was Hassan Myers. Hassan Myers beat him.
I love it. I love it by Ricky Dobbs, knowing that's something unique about this league, knowing exactly where they are. Look how quickly this happens. Dobbs knows exactly where he is on the field. The ball gets out of his hand, enough air to allow Hassan Myers to go run underneath and make that catch, and now that's a 7-point touchdown. That's going to be impactful at the end of this game.
Any touchdown over 50 yards is worth 7 points. And Hassan Myers, the 21-year-old from Richmond, who works for U-Haul, just hauled in a 51-yard touchdown pass.
They're open 7 days a week.
You're going to go for one here. And Dobbs did not get the pass off. The flag got pulled. Justin Donkor pulled the flag out to stop the conversion. So Primetime plays great defense near the end of the first half, utilize their timeouts, and then they take the shot from their side of midfield.
Yeah, really well done. And what you're seeing is they come in with a very specific plan of how they wanted to beat and attack the Dallas Ducks, and it's coming to fruition. They're doing a nice job offensively of just staying patient. We talked to the team of the Primetime yesterday, and Ricky Dobbs' teammates, they said one of the things they love about him is he gets the ball out of his hands. Even on that deep ball, that ball got up early. So they're doing a nice job on both sides, really taking it to the Dallas Ducks and applying pressure.
Wiggs Miller for the throw off.
Stevie Miller has now got a new nickname.
Robert Black on the return, and the flag gets pulled at around the 31-yard line.
Oh, I love you. DMFN. DMFN.
Hey, nothing deep.
DMFN. Doubt me for now, baby. For the real ones, you know what it is.
We thank Ricky Dobbs for his continued service to our country.
Yeah, really remarkable that he's able to balance both of these things. I can't imagine, one, having the opportunity to kind of fulfill part of his childhood dream and play for $1 million, and then in the back of my mind knowing that I'm going to go to a dangerous place in Bahrain and serve our country. So we're forever thankful to Ricky Dobbs and everybody who plays that role, who serves that role for us.
Hey, prime time, baby. We're getting it. Tyson.
Time all the time.
Tell them what time it is.
It's VA. That's how we roll.
VA by way. Jordan.
All right, never mind. No, you drop regardless, bro.
First and 60 to the 50-yard line for Dallas.
So can the Dallas Ducks respond with a big play of their own? Good defense there
Hey, y'all gotta get
by Mike Lee.
Hey, good D. Y'all gotta get that ball.
Let's go, D.
Timeout, ref. That's their third and final timeout of the half. Second down to the 50-yard line.
Yeah. No, if it's the back, he can't, right? If he throws it, he drops the ball real? Yeah.
One of the things that Primetime has got to feel good about right now is if you look at it with number 4, Kashif Charity, who I mistakenly called Kashif Moore, an ex-teammate before, and number 11, Mike Lee, good size. If there is a quote-unquote Hail Mary touchdown, they've got good size.
Villarreal avoids the pressure. And after the catch is made, the flag is pulled, and that'll take us to halftime. So Primetime in the blue has used their defense, getting after the quarterback, J.C. Villarreal. Tay Baker had the mask on before the game, but he's unmasked the offense of the Dallas Ducks with a couple of sacks, and Ricky Dobbs with a couple touchdown passes. At the half, Primetime from the Mid-Atlantic Richmond area leads the Dallas Ducks 14-0. Ricky Dobbs, a couple of touchdown passes. Son Myers, one catch for 51 yards, a 7-point touchdown. Primetime, 3 receivers with 30 or more yards, plus they're getting the quarterback, bodied by Tay Baker with 3 sacks in that first half. But Ricky Dobbs, only 3 games coming in, playing the Primetime. Well, he's getting the job done, especially in the late stages of the first half.
Hey, prime time, baby. We getting it. Tyson.
Prime time all the time.
Tell them what time it is.
It's VA. That's how we roll.
VA by way, Georgia. You know, I represent Georgia everywhere, but.
This is Dobbs' first touchdown pass. I love that he gave Tarver an opportunity to go adjust that ball. And then the one right before the half, Bob, was a beautiful throw. Enough air to allow Myers to go run underneath it, and the key thing being them taking that shot timing-wise to allow their offense to get a 7-point touchdown.
Take a look at some stats from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania here in the first half, and Primetime with 14 yards rushing, 191 yards passing, and Dallas Ducks with 1 turnover in that first half, and a goose egg being put on the board. Oh, the sun's starting to set, but the lights are bright here in Pittsburgh for American flag football. So glad you could join us here on NFL Network. Second half action coming up next. American Flag Football League in Pittsburgh. At the half, Primetime lead the Dallas Ducks by a score of 14-0 as we send it down to Kay.
Yeah, and I'm here with the guy who put the whole squad together, J.C. Villanueva. Or Villarreal, I already forgot it because you were speaking Spanish to me. What's the phrase you just told me in Spanish?
Si se puede.
What does that mean?
That means, you know, we start off rough, but we can overcome.
I came to you in the sideline and I said, how are you feeling? And you said, I prefer it this way. I like to be the underdog. What do you mean?
I mean, DFW knows me, Duck Nation knows me. I don't make things easy. And as you can see, we got hit in the mouth coming out with specifically me. So this is where I like to be, down. Let's go.
Tay got 4 sacks off you in the first half. How are you going to stop him now?
I mean, I got to get the ball. I got to take what they give me, and I'm forcing it downfield. So we'll see.
Playing for $1 million at the end of this, but 3 months ago, you might have not been standing here because life happened.
Oh, yeah, the tournament was on the same weekend. My daughter was going to be born, and the tournament got moved, and my daughter's birth came 2 weeks earlier, so I put the team together 2 days before the tournament. We put a pretty good team together, and we went out in Round Rock and represented.
Well, vamos, let's go, second half.
Si se puede.
Good stuff, Kay, and JC has been under a lot of pressure from that man, body by Tay.
Yeah, Tavion Baker's done a fantastic job getting away from him. What I want to know is, at halftime, does Villarreal, you see him running for his life consistently in this first half, and body by Baker has had a huge impact. I want to know if he's got a plan coming out into this second half. If Baker wants to continually either blitz him or rush him, is there a guy going to be there for his outlet? Are they going to do some things to maybe move the pocket, essentially, and get the ball out of his hands? That's going to be a big part of this second half for the Dallas Ducks offense.
4 flag pulls for Tavion Baker, who's sporting the mask. Can't wear it during the game, but he's been intimidating enough without the mask.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think he needs to work on his abs either. He looks the part. He looks like, listen, I spent a long time in a lot of NFL locker rooms. He looks like an NFL football player.
Heinz Field in the background, home of the Pittsburgh Steelers and their Super Bowl champions. Luke Bryan concert tonight over at Heinz Field, right across the river, the confluence. And we're at Highmark Stadium.
Defense on 3, defense on 3. 1, 2, 3, defense.
Get it, get it, get it.
Well, the D has worked for Primetime. Pitch in a shutout.
The Dallas Ducks will receive to start the second half.
The Dallas Ducks will receive the throw-off to start the second half. They won the opening throw-off and deferred the second half, which turned out pretty good for them. Down 14-0. Steve Wiggs-Miller with the throw. Robert Black with the lateral. And they get it out to about the 30-yard line as Jackson Donkor, who got off to a fast start defensively, he and his twin brother Justin were able to get a bunch of sacks.
Yeah, and they're the key to this football team. They told us how impactful. You know, I talked with Robert White Chocolate Black and asked them what's going to be their plan. You know, if this moment's too big for them, how are they going to handle it? And he said they're just going to stick together. This is a team that truly loves them.
Said the Dallas area flag football is so popular that when he goes out to stores and stuff, these guys get mobbed for autographs.
Yeah, they're a big deal down there. It's that big of a deal. They're like a local celebrity.
Try a running play on the first play. Justin Donkor picks up a couple.
You know, one of the unique things about this league, again, is you can hand off the ball horizontally, left and right. There cannot be a north and south handoff. So the Dallas Ducks come out in the second half trying to get something positive going for their offense, maybe neutralizing the blitz of Tavion Baker with a handoff to one of the Donker twins.
Villarreal takes the completion. Miller pulled the flag and did it nicely.
You know, the primetime defense, this is what they're doing. They're all just kind of playing at about 10 yards, almost what we know as quarters. Everyone's got a quarter of the field. But they're a little bit squatty. Stephen Miller's kind of reading through that receiver to Villarreal. And once that ball's out, he's driving that receiver. I want to see if that's something that Dallas sees that they can take advantage of.
Pass completed to Jarrell Norton, and he's got a first down as the ball crosses the 50-yard line. Again, field broken up in 25-yard blocks, 4 of them.
And this is the guy that I think they need to get going for the Dallas Ducks offense. Jarrell Norton told us yesterday, he's the heart and soul of this offense. He's the guy that emotionally gets them going. Didn't have much in the first half as far as stat-wise. I want to see Villarreal get him the ball a bunch and give this team some life.
Sack number 4 for Tavion Baker, and Villarreal got to get rid of the ball quicker.
Tavion Baker right now controlling the football game. Again, Villarreal showing no plan for the pressure. That wasn't a blitz. That's just something that that go clock button allows Baker to go after him, and Villarreal kind of panicking. We talked about the primetime defense knowing that if they put pressure on him, they thought he was going to throw the ball up or panic and take those sacks.
You got to credit the secondary. Here comes the first of 5 blitzes. Pass is completed to Emmett Kelly.
On the play, we have a blitz defense. That's their first. They have 4 remaining in the half. Third down, 25-yard line.
Again, the Dallas Ducks have to get the ball to the 25-yard line to get a fresh set of downs. No punting in the game.
Prime time right now.
Hey.
Will they blitz again? They do. Pass is incomplete. Baker doesn't get credit for the sack, but they blitz on back-to-back plays. You like the strategy up 14?
I love it. First of all, when you get down in this league,
defense blitz for the second time this half. They'll have 3 remaining. That'll bring up 4th down to the 25-yard line.
when you get down in this league, as we see Baker again, does he get the sack out before Villarreal gets it out of his hands? Those are 2 bang-bang plays that we've had. I'm going to count that as a sack, but when you get down in this league, it's really hard to come back. That's why I like the fact that Primetime is putting the pressure on, trying to basically stomp on this Dallas Ducks team.
So they need 14 yards on this 4th down play. And Villarreal intercepted for the 2nd time. Just kind of threw it up on 4th down, and the pick for Jaquan Winston. You know, as the sun's setting here at Highmark Stadium, Winston had to battle the sun a little bit, Dan.
Yeah, we can see it from our incredible end zone angle camera. Winston's got to basically look right in the sun, but does a really nice job of going up. He doesn't wait for the ball to get into his body. He extends his arm, go up, secures that catch. Either way, it's a turnover for Primetime, and we've got to give a lot of credit to their basically.
That was their 3rd. They have 2 remaining.
Basically their leader, their coach, Joseph Sanders.
On the same play, there was an inadvertent whistle. The defense intercepted the ball and will take the result of the play. 1st down to the 25.
1st and 10 for Primetime to the 25-yard line.
Bob, I was saying we've got to give some credit to their their leader, Joseph Sanders. The plan that he's come in for this football team has been incredibly successful up until this point.
Yeah, he's to the right of your screen. He wears number 1. That pass just dropped by T-Square. Tyson Thompson, 37-year-old, physical ed teacher at an elementary school.
And now, if you're the Dallas Ducks and you're on defense, this clock is ticking. You're down 14. You're very close from having this be a quick trip for you and that $1 million prize opportunity slipping out of your hands. So they're going to have to do something defensively, probably blitz to force Dobbs into a mistake.
They blitz Dobbs on the 2nd down play, but he eludes the pressure and completes it for a 1st down. Kai Charity with the catch.
The defense blitzed on the play. That's their 1st. They'll have 4 remaining in the half. The offense gained a 1st down to the 50-yard line.
Dobbs doing a nice job of evading pressure there. What I loved is, you know, the Green Bay Packers and guys like Randall Cobb are renowned for when Aaron Rodgers scrambles and then kind of finding ways to get to the sideline. Kashif Charity did a really nice job of breaking off his route and giving Dobbs a place to throw the football right there.
Go.
They run the lateral, and that was a forward lateral as Miller flipped it to Baker, but he was clearly ahead on the lateral.
Yeah, that's probably more on Tavion Baker in that lateral. We always hear, and especially in a guy like Ricky Dobbs' offense, pitch phase. You want to stay behind that guy that's going to lateral to you.
Blitz on the defense. 2nd down.
So you want Baker just to be a little bit more patient there to make sure that Stevie Miller has room to actually lateral it backwards and avoid that penalty.
So it's second down from the 27. They have to get to midfield to get a fresh set of downs. Sanders takes the handoff and then pitches it. Once the ball hits the ground, it's dead.
My bad.
Joseph Sanders, known as Simba.
Oh my fucking goodness.
It'll be 3rd and 21 to the 50-yard line for prime time.
And we wondered how the dynamic would work with Dobbs and Sanders kind of sitting in the backfield orchestrating things, but so far after a sloppy start, it's worked out pretty well for the primetime team.
Yeah, they're incredibly efficient right now. You can see that they're in complete control of their game, both offensively and defensively. Dobbs doing a really nice job of running their offense and getting the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, they ran the blitz, and Dobbs completed it.
4th and 50.
C.J. Tarver, who has one of the 2 touchdowns today. And that time Dobbs got ahead of himself a little bit.
Defense blitz down the play. That's their 3rd. They'll have 2 remaining.
He's on 2.
That'll bring up 4th down to 50.
And this is interesting here now, Bob. I mean, this is 4th down. Instead of them doing a punt, essentially a throw-off punt, they're going to give this Dallas Ducks defense an opportunity to get a huge, huge stop. And points can be scored quick if you can get a +50 touchdown or utilize the clock the right way. I'm questioning this decision right now by primetime.
Go. Go. With you.
And they pull the flag short of the 1st down. Son Myers made the catch.
That was their 4th. They'll have 1 remaining. Yeah, they turn over on down. 1st down.
So they turn it over on down, so the Dallas Ducks finally get a stop on defense. But that goes to show you how confident primetime is in their own defense. They're pitching a shutout in this quarterfinal action. It's the AFFL on NFL Network. The 2018 NFL season just around the corner, and it all starts with training camp. NFL Network brings you exclusive access to all 32 teams. Training camp primetime starts July 26th, live on NFL Network. The team's bringing the rookies in a couple days early. Then the veterans are going to be coming in, and can't wait for it to start.
I'm excited. I'm excited to not be a part of the training camp. You know, I'm not
reporting on it now.
I'm not going to miss out on those long days and those very hot practices, but I'm looking forward to, you know, being a part of them in some capacity.
The Dallas Ducks in red trail 14-0 here in the second half.
Nice.
Villarreal takes the quick completion.
Now we're going to see the Dallas Ducks. They're going to have to play with some pace right now. This clock is a running clock. It's going to tick. So they're going to have some urgency with what they're doing.
Tufik Shadrawi with the catch. Villarreal under pressure. Throws it away, incomplete.
You know, I'd like to see the Dallas Ducks, you know, Tavion Baker is doing so much from the middle of the field, or essentially where the ball's being snapped. When he decides to rush, I'd like to see the Dallas Ducks to replace him with one of their receivers with a shallow or a drag, maybe use some kind of mesh or a pick to get something out of Villarreal's hands early and kind of counter that rush by Tavion Baker.
Primetime defense in the blue has caused the Dallas Ducks a lot of problems. Again, good coverage, and Villarreal gets sacked again. Tavion Baker, in a city that has been known over the years for its defense in the steel curtain here in Pittsburgh, Tavion Baker is playing Steeler kind of football.
You know what? Now that I've got a little bit better look at this, Bob, James Harrison recently retired, right? Are we sure that's not James Harrison? You know, maybe with just a good dread wig on. Having a huge impact on the game, and Villarreal is, for the greater part of this game, been running for his life. Let's see it here as the ball goes in the air. Good catch by Emmett Kelly. Obviously did not get it off.
So on 4th down, Villarreal, middle of the field, and another interception for Primetime off the deflection. And it's Kashif Charity with the pick.
Pass intercepted by Kashif Charity.
38-yard return.
And Kashif Charity told us yesterday he wanted his son at home to see his dad on TV playing football.
Well, Isaiah, he's putting on a show.
Absolutely, man. What a great moment for him. Seeing the tip right here, both defenders are able to converge, knowing that they've got to get a huge chunk. Kashif Charity there for the tip, and Primetime called it. They said yesterday, Villarreal will throw that ball up. He has a gunslinger mentality. They've been able to get advantage of 2 turnovers tonight off Villarreal.
Yeah, Mike Lee had a chance at the pick as well, but Charity gets the interception. Sanders on the handoff just throws it into the ground as he was under pressure.
It's good, it's good. He was coming down. He was coming down too hard.
But I like what Primetime does on offense. They don't just sit back there and allow you to dictate. They're throwing a lot of things at this Dallas Ducks defense, and if I'm the other teams in this tournament and having the opportunity to watch this Primetime offense, I'm going, uh-oh. There's a lot of weapons. They throw a lot at you. They make you cover all aspects of the football field and everybody on it.
And they've negated the Doncourt brothers, who got off to a fast start with a couple sacks of their own and pressures. Wide open was Brian Flaherty, who served in the United States Army and played flag football while he was enlisted.
You're good, you're good.
So Navy to Army. We know about the rivalry, but there.
On the football field right now, yeah, on the football field right now, they got to get along.
Set, go.
Dobbs will just take the first down to Charity. They had to get the ball past the 25-yard line, and they did, so a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I think affords Dobbs to be such a perfect fit in this offense and in this scheme is he ran the triple option at Navy. That forces you.
That's their 5th and final blitz of the game. First down and goal.
That forces you at a quarterback to make multiple options and good decisions consistently and very quick, and you're seeing him do that consistently in their passing game.
Now the Ducks are out of blitzes. And try to squeeze that one in to Flaherty, a little bit behind him.
Yeah, stay with it, though. You got too happy.
And I think this is one of the things, as we're hearing him talk to his receivers, that they love about Dobbs. He's talking to him, hey, stay with it. You know, he wants to make sure that his receiver, Brian Flaherty, is going to continue to run with him, continue to move to that window with me. That's really good quarterback play, and that's running the position.
Second and goal, and they've done a really good job as Hassan Myers makes the catch. He had the 51-yard catch of figuring out the defense, because Dallas had gotten some pressures. They've varied up their offense, Dan, to create opportunities.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we've seen is they've sprinkled in a little bit of Joseph Sanders, maybe taking a handoff. They've moved Dobbs around a bunch, and they've given him a ton of options to get the ball out of his hands. They're not asking him to be Superman.
That's considered a lateral, so he can throw it. And the pass knocked away, incomplete.
Come on, man. I'm sorry.
Chad Pendarvis. There's a lot of swagger from the Dallas Ducks when we met with them, but a little getting run over by a train right now.
Literally and metaphorically. That play is a perfect example of kind of what makes this league unique, is that having to force teams to play behind the line of scrimmage. And as a defender, you don't have to just think of 1 or 2 guys, but maybe 3.
Not yet.
So the Ducks are out of blitzes. It is 4th and goal. And Primetime and Ricky Dobbs will call a timeout.
Let that shit go down on it.
And I'm talking about I wanted to get the goal in.
Timeout offense. That's their first of the half. They'll have 2 remaining.
I want somebody to run on the 2 back of the end zone, like deep drags or ends. And then on top of that, 2 people run the corner. And then, so that's 4, 5. And then whoever,
I can do that.
You, one of y'all be back.
Run the drag?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
So Ricky Dobbs has something specific in mind that he's seen in the coverage that he thinks they can convert this 4th and goal.
Yeah, I think what he's going to try to do is send one of those outside receivers on what he's calling a drag or in-breaker and get a corner to jump it and have a corner route thrown to the back of the end zone.
Goes back across the field, and he's got his 3rd touchdown pass of the ball game. C.J. Tarver with his 2nd touchdown reception.
Tarver, we talked about being a guy that they brought on their team strictly for this tournament, having a huge impact. But you know what we've seen?
The offense is elected to go for a 1-point try from the 5-yard line.
What we've seen, especially in the last drive, is guys on Primetime find windows. They find soft spots for Dobbs to have throws, and they've done a nice job of settling in some passing lanes.
You know, I'm not a World Cup aficionado, but I've been watching some of it. And, you know, sometimes you see the teams that have these good attacks, the spacing. And what Primetime has done in this after the rocky start was they seem to be spacing the field out. And right there, an easy 1-point conversion for Kashif's Charity.
And Charity's had a huge impact on this offense. He talked about down in the red zone being one of Ricky Dobbs' favorite targets down there. And well done by them to convert.
Ricky Dobbs has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Davion Baker getting after the quarterback. Primetime with a 21-0 lead. Well, it looks like Primetime is going to advance to next week's semifinals in Atlanta, fighting cancer against the Strong Island Bulldogs next tonight. And also next week, you're going to see the pro division. Guys like Jason Avant, Jacoby Jones, Michael Vick, Ocho Cinco, and so many more competing on the pro side.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible to watch guys, you know, match up. There's a lot of pros that have accomplished careers professionally, going to compete against these American players. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch, Bob.
Drawy on the return, and the flag finally pulled by Sanders at the 40-yard line. You know, we got an interesting analogy from Chad Pendarvis of the Dallas Ducks, and he said, look, when we go against the pros, and they thought they would advance, but right now they're getting beat, but all of these teams feel that they're going to beat the pro team in the finals. And he made a really good point. He said Roger Federer is the greatest tennis player. He said, but Roger Federer, if you put a paddle and a ping pong ball in his hands, probably not the best ping pong player. It's a racket, it's a net, but it's still a little different. And there is an art to playing this game, Dan, that strategies that need to be used. That will be interesting to see when the top team does get through to play the top pro team.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are going to get a chance to see these teams play and the uniqueness and the skill that these players have. But they all said this: the pros have got to come to their world. They don't have to go to the pros' world of tackle football. They've got to come down to their world. Don't be surprised if an America's team comes away as a champion of this tournament.
Hey, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do this. We're going to score, and we're going to have to go onside kick. Even if we don't get them, they get more plays.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, if your flag is deflagged, they got to pull your signal.
Hey,
okay.
Hey, she's right.
Defense.
Y'all heard me get that to the line.
Second time out of the half. They have 1 remaining.
Well, a little stroll along the river here in Pittsburgh, but You know, you heard Villarreal say we're going to score and then try an onside kick. There is no onside kick. There's an onside play.
Yeah, really great access to him. He's saying, hey, let's go score. And what the onside play is going to be, it's going to be a throw from the 25-yard line. You've got to get to the 50. If you don't get it, the other team's going to get it at that 25. So one of the unique things is you've got to have a 25-yard play. You've got to have something built in that's going to get that distance for you for that specific moment.
Villarreal heaves it deep, underthrows it, and intercepted yet again. Jaquan Winston on the interception, and then laterals it off to Kashif Charity. And that's the 4th interception thrown by Villarreal.
Yeah, tough night for him. He came into this moment and, you know, the Dallas Ducks team said it was gold to be into this place. We see them go up for that interception. Winston able to come down with it, and then the lateral to Kashif Charity. But
he's like, hey, I stole your interception, I'll pitch it to you.
Yeah, let's have a little fun trying to get a return. But Villarreal, a tough night for him. He came into this game, and their whole team did super confident, and Primetime has just been the better football team tonight.
Dobbs has thrown 3 touchdown passes, the former Navy quarterback, and easy toss to Stephen Miller. Flag pulled by Robert Black, but get a look at Jaquan Winston, played his college ball at Mars Hill College in North Carolina.
And don't be surprised now seeing where this ball is in front of the 50. Okay, quick first down chosen by Primetime. Would have thought maybe they took a shot to go get another 7-point touchdown, but I do like the fact, let me get it out of my hands, get a first down, let me get it going. Clock keeps going. We've got a whole new set of downs.
You know, we saw a shot of Joseph Sanders on the bench, who's kind of the leader of this team. They brought Ricky Dobbs in because they felt that the quarterback that they had beforehand was holding the team back a little bit, and right now it's proven to be the right decision.
Yeah, I wonder if Dobbs or Joseph Sanders is having that I told you so moment as we see Dobbs once again light it up to Stephen Miller.
Yeah, Wiggs Miller with the touchdown, 48 yards. That's a 6-point touchdown, and 4th touchdown pass for Dobbs.
Stephen Miller saying, Reggie who? Having a big touchdown night.
Two.
So did he get the pass off? Let's take a look at the go clock. You have 4 seconds to get the pass off.
The offense has elected to go for a 2-point try on the conversion from the 10-yard line.
And he did.
Hey, y'all stay bunched.
Nice throw by Dobbs, and Joseph Sanders there probably standing on the sidelines and goes, guys, I told you so. Just trust me. I think this Dobbs guy is going to be okay.
5, 4, 5.
They're going to go for 2 from the 10-yard line. A 2-point conversion comes from the 10-yard line. Dobbs creates some space and time and completes it to C.J. Tarver for 2.
I liked what he did there. He kind of made Stephen Miller run a little bit of a, as we see him on camera here, loving it up. He runs a little bit of a out route essentially at the corner to make him widen, and then he's able to find Tarver just in that little seam. That window opened up just enough to have Dobbs get that huge conversion. Now Primetime in complete control of the football game.
Replay, 69 yards, used 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Hey, rocking them up. From the dirty D.
Didn't take long for Ricky Dobbs to figure out the defense of the Dallas Ducks.
Love this game. I love it.
Huge night for him, and going back to Joseph Sanders, when we had the chance to talk to him yesterday, he said that football allows him to feel normal. Football is kind of his safe haven. That's the place. That's the case for so many of these guys.
Couple laterals on the return, and you get 2 on the return, and Shadrawi takes it to the 48-yard line of Primetime. Primetime defense with 3 interceptions of Villarreal here in the second half.
Yeah, if you're the Dallas Ducks right now, listen, you're on national television. You probably never thought that would happen to you. Try to enjoy the next 5 minutes. We know the result of this game, but try to enjoy this. Have some fun together. They told us how much they love playing football together. Soak this moment in and enjoy it because you've earned your spot to be here. You're on national TV. Have a lot of fun with it.
Primetime uses a timeout on defense.
Having fun, baby. Let's see who blinked first.
Timeout defense.
I ain't gonna blink.
That would be their 3rd and final timeout of the game.
Primetime with 345 yards of offense, 4 turnovers, obviously big in this ball game. A couple of them coming on 4th down throws where you got to just throw it up. But that man right there, Tavion Baker, really set the tempo for the defense of Primetime.
Yeah, you know what's great about those stats, Bob, is this is football. This is not just 7, it's football. If you looked at those stats, they would be very representative of an NFL game. One team outgaining the other, turnovers, very similar there.
And if you're losing the turnover battle, there's a good chance 4-0 that you'd be down 29-0.
Line up, line up, line up.
Emmett Kelly trying to skip through the defense. Jaquan Winston pulled the flag.
Same thing. Shoot right. Cool.
Second and 9 to the 25-yard line for Dallas.
Red timeout. That's their 2nd for the offense.
So Dallas using a 2nd timeout because there's a running clock until there's 2 minutes to go in the game. So let's conserve some time here. If we can get a score, you know, then we have an opportunity when the clock stops to maybe make some kind of run.
This is what we're going to see here, Bob. So there was a center. The center has to snap the ball through his legs, and it goes to Shadrawi. But he essentially becomes the quarterback. Laterals it back. He caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a penalty, one of the unique rules of flag football. See where he catches his ball.
That's close. Because once the direct snap goes to Shadrawi, he becomes the quarterback. Then there was the lateral. It looked like he was right on the line.
We've had the Music City miracle. Frank Wycheck, not as impactful of a moment.
The running back received the first snap, making him the quarterback. There was then a pitch. The pitch was thrown back to the same player who was not across the line of scrimmage when he received the ball. Therefore, it's a penalty.
So you see the line of scrimmage is just inside the 35, and yeah, I guess that is the correct call.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great job of the official educating everybody, not only the fans, but on television, some of the uniqueness of this league and the rules that they've got to follow.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 8. He will sit out for 2 plays. They are not allowed to substitute.
So Chad Pendarvis called for unsportsmanlike. So now they have to play shorthanded.
Yeah, for a guy who wants to go run for senator down in Dallas. Not the behavior we want out of you, Chad. These are emotional. These are emotional moments. These guys, like we've said, have come in here with high expectations. The reality of the game has kind of happened, and these guys had a huge opportunity, and they're seeing it slip away, essentially.
I'll tell you what, Primetime in the blue up 29-0 is really playing this thing out. They just used another defensive timeout.
Joseph Sanders goes to the Bill Belichick School of Coaching. No stone unturned. Game is not over till it's triple zeros.
Villarreal under pressure. There's the lateral, and they get the first down as Jackson Doncourt took the pitch.
I like that out of Dallas. I just wish they did it sooner. You know, they're replacing.
That was their fourth. They have one remaining in the game. Third down.
They're replacing that rusher with that quick throw and then utilizing an option, a lateral pitch. I just wish they got to that sooner in this game, allow their offense to flow a little better.
So now Dallas will use a timeout with 2:11 to go. This is the first time that the Dallas Ducks have gotten inside the 20-yard line. Fighting Cancer in 7-on-7 has lost one game in 5 years. The Strong Island Bulldogs from Long Island are 9-on-9 experts. Who will budge? Both teams, of the 4 teams that we talked to,
this the man right here.
Those 2 teams by far had the most bravado.
Oh yeah, they think they're good. They tell you about it. I think it's going to be one of the premier matchups of the whole tournament.
And Villarreal gets sacked again.
This could be you.
Sanders gets the sack. Tavion Baker's night is done.
You know, maybe Joseph Sanders realizing, okay, I can't really, Dobbs is playing too well for me to do something with or have a bone to pick. Maybe I'll take Tavion Baker out of there, get a little screen time, get a flag puller here or there, and make sure that they know he's the leader of their football team.
Well, you know, the other thing is in flag football, these tournaments all around the country, these guys are used to playing 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a day and 10 games in a weekend in these barnstorming tournaments where sometimes you're playing for just a championship t-shirt. These guys are playing one game this weekend, and the team that advances doesn't have to play until next weekend, which is a unique experience for these guys.
Totally different for them, and I think that the teams that prepared for the difference of it, as we're seeing Primetime, you're going to see teams utilize it as a weapon. They're going to be a little bit fresher. They'll play with a little bit more tempo. They don't have 8 games to play in one day.
Villarreal just got it off, and then they tried to lateral it back to him. Well, Norton showing some frustration as Villarreal wasn't ready for the pitch. Villarreal to the end zone and intercepted again. Mike Lee with another interception. That's 5 by Primetime's defense.
Primetime's defense has had complete control of this game. We see another ball just kind of lofted up, thrown up for grabs in essence, and the Primetime defense is able to come down again with another pick. Villarreal is going to regret a lot of decisions tonight of just forcing the football.
And Primetime's defense, their coverages, their pressure, the silent assassin, Mike Evans, Mike Lee with a pick.
We talked about it, and I don't want to keep harping it, it's a reality. They came in with a very specific plan of how to beat this team, both offensively and defensively, and they've executed it to perfection. That's their secret weapon. That's their gold going into this tournament.
So Ricky Dobbs playing now in only his 4th game with Primetime, brought in to upgrade the quarterback position by Joseph Sanders. Take the snap, he takes a knee just to finish out the game.
When I looked away, he didn't think I was going to come to him. Don't snap it, don't snap it.
So that's the final play of the game, and prime time from the Mid-Atlantic Richmond area with a 29-0 victory over the Dallas Ducks. Stephen Wiggs-Miller and a big touchdown catch. Tavion Baker with pass rush. Ricky Dobbs throwing a bunch of touchdown passes as we send it down to Kev.
Here with CJ Tarver, he wasn't in there the first couple plays. I said, what's going on? You said, I'm about to get in. 2 touchdowns later, and here you are. It started kind of slow, and then you developed a rhythm. When did that happen?
As soon as Ricky threw me the ball, that's when we woke up.
Now, you were a late addition. They did a great job in free agency, adding Ricky, adding you. Do you sort of feel like you now know how dangerous this team can be?
Oh, I knew how dangerous we were before I got here, so adding me just add more firepower.
A lot of confidence on this team, but you all maintain that you don't have an ego. I saw that today. We had Kashif Miller went out, Kashif came in, scored a touchdown. Miller got his and 8 later in the game. Is that so important to you guys on the squad?
Absolutely. It's hot out here. You know, you got to sub when we need to. You know, no egos here.
You're a triple threat. You can run, you can throw, you can catch the ball. I mean, is anybody going to be able to stop you in Atlanta?
They ain't got no chance.
All right, CJ Tarver, guys.
Well, these guys play against each other in various tournaments. Sometimes they're teammates, but in the end, it was the pass rush of Tavion Baker in primetime as they win their quarterfinal matchup, 29-0.